Hello again. I'm really sorry for the long break between videos, but I had a good reason. I was ill, and not just a little bit, but really bad ill. First, I caught the flu, and I couldn't speak without coughing the whole time. Then, as I recovered from the flu, I caught an infection in my throat, and I had a laryngitis. And yes, I had to look it up. Basically, the infection reached my voice box and I wasn't able to speak and also wasn't allowed. Doctor's order. The first day I was again allowed to speak was the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. And yes, in Germany, we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. Well, anyway, today is the first day I can talk without my voice breaking half the time, so I decided to record the video for New Year. If my voice is breaking from time to time, I'm sorry. I'm still recovering. So let's get started with today's video. And of course, it is about goals for 2024 and also about goals from 2023. Fitting for the start of the new year. If you haven't set goals for the new year yet, grab a pen and paper and get inspiration from this video and set your goals while watching. Don't forget to write them down because you're more likely to achieve them when you wrote them down and sometimes see the goals written down. But now let's get to my goals. First, like last year, I'm only setting goals that are motivating for me and not demotivating or not achievable. And also, again, I limit my goals per language to 3. This time, I also set goals for German, but that are like their English goals, mostly fun goals, but more on that later on. So here comes the first goal section, my focus language for each quarter. Focus language means my main focus and most of the time in the quarter goes to the assigned language. In 2023, my focus was the whole year primary on Japanese and secondary on Spanish. That is going to change a little bit in 2024. So for the first 3 quarters, my main focus will stay on Japanese. The plan is to travel to Japan in June until the beginning of July, so I want my Japanese to be top notch until then. After the trip, the main focus is going to slowly change to Spanish, just so I don't lose my motivation to continue learning Japanese. My second focus in the first and third quarter is going to be Spanish, and in the fourth, Japanese. For the second quarter, I'm planning a little experiment so my second focus stays empty for the moment. Now, let's move on to the separate languages. Today, the first language is Japanese. At the beginning of 2023, I had the plan to have 3,000 vocabs and sentences in my database, but I cancelled this goal. If you're interested, my number back then was 200. Now we're at 511, so no way near the goal. But also, I didn't try reaching it anymore. I will maybe change this again in 2024. The second goal was finishing Japanese from zero, book 1 and 2. I also didn't really make progress in this goal because my focus in Japanese changed to a more native content focus based approach. Right now I'm halfway through book 1. We continue with The third goal for Japanese in 2023. Finishing the first book of remembering the kanji. And that goal was also paused at around 19%. What I added as goal was a time-based goal with comprehensible input. I set the goal to 103 hours and I reached that goal a while ago in October. I'm now at around 230 hours. I will leave the exact number on the screen so I can continue from there in 2024. So far, the review of 2023. Now, on to the goals for 2024. First, I decided to change the goal setting to a more number-based approach. So, the first goal is to listen to Japanese for another 150 hours. The second goal is to study Japanese for 240 hours, including the 150 hours of listening. So, about 100 hours extra study time. I also wanted to try reading 2 books in Japanese, but we will see if I can read books already. I also decided to add a little mini goal, and that depends on my trip to Japan. I want to try speaking with a native in Japan. And yes, basically there are 4 goals, but also 2 are depending on factors I'm not sure about. Yeah, let's move on to the next language, Spanish. The first goal in 2023 was to have 4,000 vocabs and sentences in the database. But like in Japanese, I cancelled that goal. For Spanish, the numbers are 250 at the start of the year, and now it's 592. The second goal got cancelled by a decision from Memrise. My plan was to finish the first 3 Spanish Memrise courses from German, but Memrise changed the system. So now there aren't 3 courses anymore. Only 1 course is now available, and I'm not sure how I should convert the new course into the old goal. The third goal was to finish the Lingo Legend course in Spanish. I only finished half of it because I finished the story mode and then it wasn't that interesting anymore. But I will try finishing it in 2024. I also added a time-based goal for Spanish mid-year with comprehensible input. I set a goal for the year to 100 hours and I didn't quite get there. I only reached 75 hours. Like in Japanese, the exact number will be on screen so I can continue in 2024 with the exact number. Now, for the goals for 2024. The first is to listen to Spanish for another 150 hours. The second goal is to study Spanish a total of 200 hours in 2024, including the 150 hours listening, so about 50 hours extra study time. The third goal is to read 2 books in Spanish. That's all for Spanish. Let's move on to English. The first goal in 2023 was to have 5,000 vocabs and sentences in the database. But like in the other languages, I cancelled the goal. The starting number in English was 500 and now I'm at 967. The second goal was to read 4 books in 2023 and that goal was reached only like 3 days ago. The last goal for English was to finish the Lernbox. And again, that goal was paused or delayed or cancelled. Yeah. So far for the goals from 2023. Now for 2024, the first goal is to read again 4 books. The second goal is to study every month at least once. And I mean study, not just like read a book without anything challenging. It has to be something I check. Yes, English has only 2 goals, but that's all for English. Then on to German. Last year I didn't set German goals in the video, but for 2024 I want to set goals. My goal for German in 2024 is to read more. So the set goal is 10 books. The second is kind of apart from the first one. I want to read at least a few pages per day or every other day. The third is similar to the second English goal. I want to really study, every other month at least once. So now we have all goals together. Let's have a little overview of numbers for 2023. My total time studied is over 500 hours in 2024. And I also have on the screen a little diagram showing the time per language. I also have the same for listening and reading. Reading that is tracked in this diagram. It's reading that teaches me something. So, study time. So, this is the end of today's video. Feel free to like and subscribe. You can also write your goals in the comments. We will see how these goals develop over the year. And let's see how long my goals are lasting this time. If you want, you can also contact me via Instagram or Discord and we can have a little language exchange. So, see you next time. Bye. Oh, and Happy New Year to all of you.